Alright, y'all, so I have changed and I am now heading out to a Caribbean spot. Heading out to this Caribbean spot. So let me make sure I close the garage door. Okay, got that done. Headed on out, y'all. So the wind has picked up out here. I will tune in with y'all later. Alright, y'all, let's talk about it. What can we learn from this Cassie Puffy situation that's going on in court? Y'all, the details that have been revealed are gruesome. And as gruesome as they are, there are people out here who do some really off-the-wall stuff. We don't know what people got going on in their lives, right? So the fact that, I'm not saying that she went along with it. I'm not saying that she initially started this stuff. I think she was introduced to a lot of these things by Puffy. But the fact that she stayed in it and entertained it for so long, that's where I have an issue. And I know some people are not going to agree because they feel that Cassie is 100% a pure victim, but I call 100% pure victim a child. When they met, Cassie was already over the age of 18. Okay, when they started dealing with one another, she was considered an adult by law. Technically, at 18, you're considered an adult in the United States of America by court of law. So all of this victimization stuff, y'all, there are more victims. There are bigger victims than Cassie out here. Okay, and they don't get tens of millions of dollars as a result of being victimized either. They don't get to walk the red carpet, taken to award shows, given, you know, roles in movies, get to release a CD, a song on the radio. They're not around celebrity friends, going on yacht trips, taking trips in and out of the country, vacations, shopping sprees, luxurious hotels, luxurious cars. There are victims that are bigger than Cassie that no one talks about, and they are called children that get molested, that get assaulted, that are mentally abused, physically abused, and abused in all types and sorts of ways. But nobody's talking about them. Nobody is talking about the trafficked individuals that didn't have a choice. Nobody's bringing them up. So this is why I think she's full of ish when she got on the stand and they asked her, why are you now coming out about the tunnels? And she's like, oh, somebody needed to speak out because she cares. She doesn't care. She cares about herself. She doesn't want to perjure herself on the stand, and she doesn't want to get in trouble for lying on the stand in the court of law. She's looking out for herself because somebody made a really good point. If she really was concerned about other victims, first of all, she could have been reported this when she left. And also, where are the funds where she started a foundation for people who have been in similar situations, especially for children, underage girls, women that don't have the resources that she had? There are women out here every single day that have protective orders, restraining orders, and guess what? They still end up getting hurt by their abuser. Where is the voice for them? Everybody is invested into this case because it's Diddy. if it were not for him, we wouldn't know who Cassie would be today. We wouldn't even know who she was. Because when she was with Ryan Leslie, which is another music producer that was in the industry, she stopped messing with Ryan Leslie, who was actually 10 years her senior at that time. I think he was 27 at the time, and she was like 19. Nobody's speaking about that. She was actually messing with Ryan Leslie. That was her boyfriend at the time. That was the man she was dealing with. And she ended up messing with Puffy. Now, why would she do that, you ask? Maybe there was no real love there for Ryan Leslie. And maybe because she saw that Puffy had better opportunities for her, was a bigger name for her to attach herself to, could open doors that Ryan Leslie may not have opened, that Puffy could open. We have to put these things into proper perspective and stop always seeing these racially ambiguous females that these melanated males go after as victims, because Shannon Sharpe hasn't learned his lesson. Kobe Bryant didn't learn his lesson. There's so many people that did not learn their lesson. Diddy, of course, has not learned his lesson, because that's why he's in his situation today. And if we really want to run down the line of Cassie and her lineage, she is Mexican, she is Latina, they say she's West Indies, and there's like a drop of supposed African American or melanated, whatever you want to call it, in there. But I noticed that yet again, and I'm going to talk about it, Puffy decided that he wanted a racially ambiguous female to do all these things with, and that is his choice to spend his time with. But he also, as a result of his actions, is out of tens of millions of dollars because he wanted to do another Shannon Sharpe debacle. Okay, now it's like these melanated men, they never learn their lesson, because they keep letting their lower nature, their lower selves, take over. And as a result of that, this is what this world has come to. So this is why he's out of all this money. I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for Shannon Sharpe. They put themselves in this situation. Anybody else that was in this situation probably would know how to handle themselves a little bit more maturely. But every time a melanated male full of their ego gets, you know, their hands on some funds, this is what they tend to do. And so I don't feel sorry. You know, it's unfortunate that all right, y'all, I just got a text from another colleague, so I'm gonna cut this video and I'll be back with y'all in a minute. Plus I'm driving. Okay, y'all, like I was saying, I just sent her a voice clip about the Cassie thing. She's not 100% a victim, okay? And that's just those are my thoughts and opinions about it. People can beg to differ, and that's fine. You can have a difference of opinion. There are real victims out here, and those victims don't have a choice. Those victims don't have a voice. Like I said, there are a lot of victims that don't have resources like she had. Catching Uber rides back to her apartment, and from my understanding, she claims that he assaulted her. And the very next day, she went back and had intimacy with him. I mean, I just question that type of behavior. And people are going to sit here and say, oh, well, you know, he had mind control over her. He manipulated her. He did this, he did that. Yeah, he probably did. He's very manipulative. What dudes are not manipulative out here? Answer that question. But once you get a certain age and you get tired of stuff, you have to put it into it. She was there for 11 years. 11. Okay? You know, when she was on the red carpet and she was at these award shows and at these, you know, interviews and stuff, did she seem distressed? Did she cry out for help? I don't get it. But, you know, everybody's gonna make it seem like she's the biggest victim out here in the world. She's not. There are so many more victims bigger than her. And when I say bigger victims, what I mean is not that they're well known, but they're more helpless. They don't have the resources. They don't have the means that she had, the money that she had, the access that she had. And that's just what it is. People can get mad all they want, but that's what it is. So, you know, back to these guys wanting to be with a racially ambiguous female and willing to, basically, you're willing to risk your fame, your money, all the things that you have worked for that, because you can't control your lower nature. You can't control your urges, and you want to be wild and live on the edge with these females. I don't feel sorry for them, you know, but considering that he has 4 biological children, and he only has 1 biological son, because those other 2 boys, those light-skinned boys, those are not his. One of those children belonged to Albie Shore, and the other one belongs to, he had this friend called Wolf. And if you look at Wolf from back in the day, and you look at, what's his name, Justin, I think it's Justin, King, and Quincy, Justin, whatever. You know who I'm talking about. That's not even his real son. So for whatever reason, he claims these boys as his own. And that's fine and dandy. But you know what? Mentally, psychologically, his children might have already been ruined. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. We don't know what he tells his children. All we see are the optics for the camera. The same way we saw optics with Kim Porter. The same way we saw the optics with Cassie by his side. Oh, everybody's talking about the fact that she looks like, you know, she broke the, what did they say? She broke the fashion game. You know, she was the trendsetter on fashion. I don't know how, but the fact that she has stylists and everybody else is dressing her and doing her hair, like Puffy was the one that made her cut her hair when she shaved it. So that was nothing she did on her own. But you know, they like to give credit to these females and stuff. Like Kim Kardashian, she's another one. Every time the melanated male gets with one of those Kardashians, look at what happens to their careers, to their lives. They'll never learn, because they're gonna go sniffing up under her, you know, like a dog in heat. They don't care, taking their turn, even though she's been passed around, all the way from Nick Cannon to Marcus Houston to one of Michael Jackson's nephews, Chris Humphries, Kanye West, that Pete Davidson guy, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on with these people. So those are my thoughts about this whole stupid situation, y'all. And we'll be talking more about it. I'll tune in with y'all later. Alright, y'all, I done switched it up. I came out here for my friend's birthday party. Just called her, she didn't answer, but I know earlier she said she was in a rush because she had to go home and change. So she doesn't live far from here. I don't see her truck. Oh, that's right, she don't have her truck because she has a different vehicle. So I might try to call her phone again. I sent her a text, so we'll see what happens. There we go. Oh, there we go, y'all. I need to wash my hair. Hopefully I'll have the strength and energy to do it tomorrow.